What if I told you these donuts are even better than many bakery donuts? Just look at that texture. Today, I'll show you complete method from making the perfect dough to proper proofing, and my unique both frying and baking techniques that help create soft donuts every time. Every step will be explained in detail along with the tips and techniques, so be sure to watch until the end. First, let's prepare the liquid mixture for our donuts. Here I have some cold milk. Cold milk helps keep the dough temperature under control while kneading. Then add the sugar. Besides adding a gentle sweetness, sugar also helps create that beautiful golden color when the donuts are fried. Today I'm using instant dry yeast. One of the reasons I love using instant yeast is that there's no need to activate it separately. Just add it straight to the milk and you're ready to go. Now add the milk powder. It adds a richer milky flavor, helps create a softer texture. If you don't have it, don't worry. You can simply leave it out. Now, crack in 1 medium egg. The egg adds richness and helps make the donuts extra soft and tender. If you'd prefer an egg-free version, simply replace the egg with the same weight of extra milk. Now for a little trick that makes a big difference, especially during warmer weather. Add a few ice cubes to the mixture. As the dough kneads, excess heat can make the dough sticky and harder to work with. The ice cubes help keep the dough cool. When ready, set it aside while we prepare the dry ingredients. For today's recipe, I'm using bread flour with about 13.7% protein. Higher protein flour develops stronger gluten, which helps create light, airy donuts with a beautiful structure. The total flour weight is 420 grams or about 14.8 ounces. Then add the salt, just little, about half teaspoon. Now let's bring it all together and start making our dough. Add the bread flour to your mixing bowl first. Then start the mixer on low speed, speed number 1. As the mixer runs, slowly pour in the yeast mixture a little at a time. Don't rush. Different flour absorb liquid differently, so adding the liquid gradually gives you much better control over the dough consistency. After about 2 to 3 minutes, stop the mixer and check the dough. This is one of the most important stages in bread making. If the dough feels too dry or too stiff now, the finished donuts may turn out heavier and less fluffy. Making small adjustments at this stage is much easier than trying to fix the dough later. Once you're happy with the texture, continue kneading on a low to medium speed. I recommend staying between speed number 2 and 3. Avoid high-speed kneading as it can heat the dough too quickly and affect the final texture. Keep kneading until you notice the dough becoming smoother, softer, and more elastic. Depending on your mixer and flour, this usually takes around 12 to 15 minutes. Now it's time to add the butter. Keep the mixer running on low speed and add the softened butter gradually. At first, the dough may look messy and slippery. That's completely normal. Just keep kneading. After another 5 to 7 minutes, the dough will transform into a beautiful silky mass. Usually, it takes around 20 to 25 minutes to achieve perfectly developed dough. You can see here how the dough is starting to clean the sides of the bowl and develop a smooth surface. That's exactly what we're looking for. Well-made donut dough should feel silky, slightly tacky, and very elastic. To check if it's ready, take a small piece and gently stretch it. If you can stretch it thin enough without tearing, you've successfully reached the window pane stage. Our dough is now ready. Cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. This short rest makes the dough easier to handle and shape. Today I'm dividing the dough into 50-gram pieces, but you can make them larger or smaller if you prefer. The important thing is to keep them all the same size. Once divided, roll each piece into a smooth ball. Take your time here. A smooth surface is important. If the dough has cracks or rough spots, the donuts can expand unevenly during proofing and frying. The smoother the dough ball, the better the final shape. Once all the dough balls are ready, cover them and let them rest for about 15 minutes. This short rest allows the gluten to relax, making the dough easier to shape. After resting, dust the dough with flour and gently flatten each ball. Don't press too hard, we're simply creating a base shape for the donut. Then make a hole in the center. You can use a small cutter or simply poke through the middle with your finger. The hole may look larger than you expect, but don't worry. During proofing, the dough will expand and the hole will naturally become smaller. Now comes the most important stage of the entire recipe, proofing. Proofing time depends completely on the temperature of your kitchen. On a warm day, it may take as little as 30 to 45 minutes. During cooler weather, it can easily take 2 to 3 hours. Don't watch the clock, watch the dough. Here's my favorite way to check if they're ready. Gently press the side of a donut with your fingertip. If the dough slowly springs back and leaves a slight indentation, it's perfectly proofed and ready to cook. Perfect proofing is one of the biggest secrets behind those light, airy donuts with a beautiful white ring after frying. Today, I'm going to show you 2 ways to finish these donuts, baking and frying. For fried donut, heat your oil to around 160 degrees Celsius. Drop a tiny piece of dough into the oil. It should rise gently to the surface and bubble steadily without browning too quickly. Carefully lower the donuts into the oil and fry them slowly. Avoid overcrowding the pan. Giving the donuts enough space helps them cook evenly and maintain their shape. Fry for about 2 minutes per side or until beautifully golden brown. As they cook, you'll notice the donuts are floating on the surface with only the middle section touching the oil. That's exactly what creates the famous white ring around the center. Once they're beautifully golden, transfer the donuts to a wire rack and let any excess oil drain away. Now let's make the Biscoff glaze. Start by melting the dark brown sugar and butter together over medium heat. Once melted, add the cream, vanilla, and a pinch of salt. Reduce the heat to low, then whisk in the icing sugar until the glaze becomes silky smooth and glossy. Finally, add the Biscoff spread and mix until everything is completely smooth and luscious. Just look at that shine, rich, glossy, and packed with Biscoff flavor. Making bakery-style donuts at home isn't difficult. It simply comes down to a few key steps: developing the dough properly, proofing it patiently, and cooking it at the right temperature. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and family, and subscribe for more baking recipes. If you try this recipe, I'd love to hear how it turned out. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy baking.